So I wanted to talk a little bit about what we've been doing as an information management services team. And that starts with a bit of a story. So we keep doing the same project over and over again with every customer. And that kind of follows a very similar pattern. We start by engaging, probably James goes out and helps people to work through their information management strategy and their plan. Sometimes we show up and they've already got one. So we're going through and we're talking to their people and we're trying to work out what it is they do and what are the recurring problems they've had. This is the 15th data warehouse that they've started or whatever it is. So we assess the current state, look at the future state, try and map where the gaps are, come up with recommendations and a roadmap so that we have a plan in place for what they're going to do, and that if we're involved, it's probably generally going to involve Data Vault. Then you get into the technology selection process. That can involve RFPs and just writing the RFP document's hard versus writing a response and then the reviews, and if you're in the government sector then that's even worse. And so we try and avoid that part, but we do get involved. And then pilots and POCs and bake-offs and all those sorts of things. This is kind of time consuming. So then you've selected your technology. You then have to go and implement the technology. So you're just selecting a cloud or maybe buying tin, I don't know. And doing software installs, integrating the software, because you're not going to really select one vendor that does everything. That kind of doesn't really exist yet. Maybe SAP, but we don't work with them generally. And then because we've recommended Data Vault, we're going to start looking at, okay, well, what are we going to do around automation? So we'll build out an automation framework and we'll embed the Data Vault standards. So this project for us, I think the fastest we've sort of gone through this entire list of things has been about 4 months with a smaller financial institution to go from strategy to actually ready to deal with data. And at the bigger end of town, big banks, 18 months-ish, depending on how political it gets. So this is a lot of stuff to do, and I'm sure there's some people in the room who've been through these sorts of projects. But the question we've been asking is, how does this set of steps actually add value to our customers? Could we do something different? And so that's what I'm talking about today. So one of these platforms that we build, to meet the demands of management and architects and developers and BI users and business analysts and all of those sorts of things, really needs to deliver a huge range of capabilities. That's nice and little. So the platform needs to be flexible, and Data Vault helps us do that. We can obviously bring in lots of different sources and we can change things and have no impact, no re-engineering when we bring in different data sources. And it really needs to involve automation because we're really all trying to drive down costs. We've just talked about business case, but part of those business cases always, how do I do more with less? We're actually doing a session this afternoon, a bit of a deep dive into automation because it's a huge thing and you can automate a hell of a lot. And it needs to be able to scale, and the Snowflake guys have talked a bit about that. But some of the organisations we work with are tiny, and need to start really small and grow. So, scalability is important, not just at the micron example where it's, tables with billions of records, but also, being able to start small and grow over time. And then we've talked about governance and auditability, so I'll just click past that one. And robust. And robust to me means that it needs to run well and not fall over every night and you have to rerun ETL jobs or, have like a heavy burden on support, because there's a lot of cost in that as well. So the platform needs to actually deliver all these capabilities kind of as an inherent components of the technology platform. and not things that you put, people band-aids over. So people band-aids, you can use that if you like. I wouldn't, but you can. So we built a platform called IRiS. And it's essentially a cloud-based platform. It's on Azure, or Azure, as we say in this country. At the moment, it will be on AWS shortly as well. It's essentially a combination of a number of vendors' technologies and the Data Vault 2 methodology put together in a platform. So it's built with DV2 baked in, and we'll talk about the various technologies that are in there shortly. So the whole purpose of it is that we want this to be something that you can have deployed extremely quickly, in a day or two. And then you can get on to building your Data Vault model and ingesting your data sources within the first week of your project, not, the 4 months in 1 week or 18 months in 1 week. So it's really about delivering those capabilities, but allowing you to get there fast. So essentially what it is, I'm going to build up a stack of stuff. So we have the Microsoft Azure cloud services and all the things that come with that, so AD and all of that sort of stuff. So, and then we have on top of that a set of capabilities which are effectively the supporting technologies that you would need to build into one of these environments. So you need to have some profiling capabilities and business glossary and data catalog, those sorts of things. You need some capability for reference data management. Some of these things get delivered, out of the box by the software vendors that are providing tools into this platform, and some things have been built out that you would otherwise have to build out at every site. So the scheduling and the orchestration, and an operations dashboard and a set of SLAs and procedures to follow. So all of those things are kind of foundations before you can actually start building out a Data Vault-based information flow. So we have various ways to deal with data, CDC, event streaming, normal batch, and then we have modeling capabilities, and so the data, we basically can create a raw vault, a business vault, a set of information marts. You can see Snowflake's logo up there, so I've already let the cat out of the bag as to one of the vendors that are the part of this solution. And then we have various processes to follow. So prototyping and the workflow, a full test harness, and a set of playbooks to follow. So the playbooks here, we're talking about effectively the Data Vault 2 methodology mapped to a specific set of technologies, and there's a set of process guides that you can follow. So we originally envisaged this platform to be a managed service for our customers, but with lots of back and forth with various customers, realised that actually what people want to do is have an environment that helps them do Data Vault really well, but that they get to do it. It's their team. So the playbooks were born, and that is actually effectively a step-by-step process for people to follow. So, by following the playbooks, any organisation's information management team can build a Data Vault 2 compliant data warehouse, delivering their data from their sources through to any BI platform or any data science and analytics platform, and they can be sure that they're actually following the standards, and that they're going to have the success that they should if they stick to the standards. And I think that was pretty clear today in a couple of the panels, that get your standards and then stick to your standards. That's and stick to your training as well. So this kind of embodies the training. This is not except it's not instead of training. It's actually with. So part of the way we deliver IRiS is train your people, enable your people, give you a set of guides to follow, and all of the capabilities baked in. So I'll talk a little bit about the technology that's in there, so this all starts to make a little bit more sense. So Snowflake, you saw that Snowflake's in there. And Snowflake haven't had a huge amount of time to talk, but I'm going to talk a little bit about how cool their platform is. So one of the things that we can do is they provide their platform as a service. And part of that as a service means you don't have to worry about all the DBA functions. So by using their service as part of IRiS, we don't have to worry about all the DBA functions. So but more than that, it's your customer's Snowflake subscription as well. So if you're a customer of IRiS, you're not saying, Certus, can you manage Snowflake for us? It's your subscription. You own the subscription. You own the data. You can take it over whenever you want. In fact, we want you to take it over. But they have an amazingly flexible cost model, so you're really only paying for what you use. They have support for a variant data types, which basically means you can get structured and semi-structured, a range of different data types into their platform natively, which is is a huge benefit. And one of the things for one of our customers that we've been investigating already anyway is how cool their data sharing capability is. So if you have business partners, other organisations that are partners of yours that you want to share data in, they can have a Snowflake subscription as well. And they can give you access to certain tables within their Snowflake environment, and that can then be in your Data Vault model, in your Snowflake subscription. So therefore you're doing effectively copyless sharing of data, and as the actual original owner, that partner can control some of the security aspects around that. So it's a very good idea. If to me, the reason to do Vault is about integrating data sets. And if you have a business partnership and by enriching some of your data with your business partner's data, provides you unique opportunities. And I think Queensland Health's probably a really good example of how, providing access to data to the department from a hospital, for instance, might be a great way to go. This is a whole different paradigm around sharing data. So very cool. You can tell I'm a fan. IBM is included as well, and that's for their breadth of capability when it comes to metadata management, governance, and information governance, data governance. So their data catalogue and their business glossary and their information governance capabilities, their ability to ingest metadata from so many different platforms has been a really important part of what we've done here. So extending on from that is Warescape is leading Data Vault automation partner, and Warescape brings, as you saw from the staircase that Morgan put up earlier, they have a huge breadth of automation capability in their platform. It's self-documenting, lots of very cool features, and it has its own metadata capability, so it manages its flows, and the IBM platform allows us to extend that so that we get source to target lineage regardless of what's going on. So when you use IRiS, you follow the playbooks. The technical aspects of governance fall out, and the playbooks will help you with the governance processes, but I think we've all heard that there's a lot more to governance than just the technical side, but the combination of what IBM offers and then the automation capabilities of Warescape, where you effectively are, once you've tested your templates, you're getting the repeatable results out of those. So your code generation, you're not handcrafting code, you're not making mistakes, or your people aren't making mistakes. Getting production ready code becomes a lot easier, which is a huge importance. And one of the things we've done here is we've extended the Data Vault templates that come standard with Warescape's offering to cover more of the Data Vault methodology, and that's a process we're going to be following over obviously this platform has a roadmap, and one of the things for us there is there's lots of various things, like Dan mentioned pits and bridges for consumption earlier when we were chatting, automating templates for those sorts of things. So we're trying to make it a complete platform. So effectively, this whole conference is about Data Vault 2. I don't really need to talk to this slide very much. But the reason we use DV2 is because it is actually, complete blueprint or a set of processes to follow. We don't have to make a decision now, ignorant of the cost it might cost us a year down the track. This has been tried and tested by so many organisations that we know if we stick to the standards that the results will be fine for now, but they'll also fit in with whatever it is that we need to do to extend the platform in a year's time or 2 years' time. So it is just a blueprint to follow, which means that we're not relying on the experience of a single architect within our team or within the customer's team to make choices. We're relying on the combined experience of thousands of sites and thousands of engineers who've all contributed to this set of standards. So it becomes repeatable, consistent. All those standards give us that reliability, and we've talked about those other components. Backing up IRiS is a set of services, so delivery, coaching, training and support. I've tried to explain what the playbooks are. It's kind of a hard scenario because I think about it almost, it's not a wizard, it's not GUI driven, but it is a set of processes, and a lot of it is driven by automation and how to drive that automation. Some of it still is, here's the process you need to follow, and those things will be automated as the platform evolves. But it's a way to keep you on track. So we also provide the Data Vault to training and certification. And I actually got mentioned to me in the break before that we should mention too that as this current situation evolves, we're evolving too and starting to test delivering training virtually to some of our customers as well. So if that's something that you need to do as this thing evolves, then virtual delivery of DV2 certification and training will be made available. So I think that's on the cards. Obviously we do the implementation and development services, but to be clear, this is all about enabling your team. So what we want to do is help you deploy IRiS, help you get your first project or your first phase or whatever done and enable your team, and as soon as possible let you and your team run this. But obviously Donald from MOE talked a little bit about Certus's involvement with their team, and that's very much remote coaching. So his team is doing a lot of that work and we're providing remote coaching. And so coaching and mentoring is definitely something to help kind of keep that continual maintenance, keep things on track, make sure that the standards are being followed, and then support services if required. And as soon as we started talking to customers about this platform, we had one say, well, can you deliver it as a managed service? So yes, we can. So what does it deliver? Basically a Data Vault 2 repository delivered on a cloud appliance. That's the way I tend to think of it. It's a packaged appliance delivered in the cloud with the technology and the processes. Full set of Data Vault 2 playbooks to follow. An agile process to follow for acquiring data. That's not inherently something that IRiS delivers. That's what all Data Vaults deliver, but it's definitely something that IRiS delivers. All of the technical components of governance are delivered through using the platform. You still need to build your own governance structure and run your own governance council and all those sorts of things. But if you're looking for a way to have that shared metadata across a single platform, all of those sorts of governance reports and the sorts of things you need, the platform delivers that. And there's a continuous development roadmap for this product now. It has a dedicated development team. And so this platform will continue to evolve and as I said, working on an extended set of automation templates right now for the platform. We want to automate as much of the data wrangling, the boring stuff as possible so that teams can focus on their model, their sources of data and their ways to use data. And then the right sort of services to support the platform. I'm going to shoot through the benefits fairly quickly. The whole point of this is to make it cost effective to do Data Vaults. So we don't want you wasting your money paying for a large team to build a technology platform, taking 4 months or more. We can actually reduce that by effectively packaging up what we've done over and over again. we want to deliver it really fast so that you can actually have a warehouse that's providing reports in weeks, not in months. We want it to be extremely responsive. Again, this is probably more a feature of Vault than necessarily of IRiS, but the ability to adapt to change is paramount. We want it to effectively act like DevOps, like data ops. So the extension of DevOps, people are starting to definitely talk about data ops around that continual development, CI/CD approach to delivering data to the business. So it's there to support that. Because we're automating so much, and again, because it's Vault, the accuracy is paramount. So fully auditable, reconcilable. We have some test cases that recreate the source system tables from the Vault structure, just as a way to reconcile. So, sorts of testing that you otherwise have to design, develop, and build yourself. It's built into the product, and obviously then becomes trustworthy. That is it.